Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father. I have on the phone with me right now from In This Moment, Mr. Chris Howorth. Chris, how's it going, my friend?
It's going great, man.
You guys are on tour right now, so let's talk about the new album, Blood. This album is freaking amazing, man.
Thank you, man.
This new album is it's dark, it's raw, it's heavy, and let's talk about that. What all came about with this new album?
Well, it was different than all of our other albums because we basically had all our other albums we had, two other band members that we were working with when we were writing, and, we kind of approached it differently, in the songwriting way. We wrote all the stuff before we went in the studio, whereas with Blood, it was basically stripped down to just Maria, myself, and our producer. And instead of writing a whole bunch of stuff before we went in the studio, we just had a bunch of ideas, and we went into the studio together and kind of wrote each song one at a time. Instead of doing all the drums first, and then all the bass, then all the guitars, layering it like people normally do albums, we built each song up, until we thought it sounded pretty good, and then moved on to the next one. So that was a completely different, way of doing it than we'd never done before. And the fact that we were down two band members made us have a different kind of feeling in our guts when we did it.
During Blood, you guys lost two members of the band. Did it take a while to get the two new members to fill in, and was it hard? I mean, to replace the same sound and to maintain the sound?
Well, it was definitely a weird situation. I mean, we were pretty focused on just doing the record, and we weren't worried about finding anybody else for the record, But we did have a couple of commitments. We had an Australian tour we had to do, and we had a thing called Shiprock that we had to do immediately after the guys left. So we were pretty much scrambling to find people to fill in. We weren't really concerned with getting the permanent people yet, just getting through these gigs. But we ended up picking a good friend of mine, Randy, and we took a chance on this kid, Tom, for the drums, and we tried him out on an Australian tour, kind of was our testing run, and they ended up doing a great job, and we really liked them, and we just started working with them. After that, we just figured, why keep looking for anybody else? These guys are good. It seems like it's going to work, and so we started off the album cycle, all the touring with these guys, and, within a couple of months, man, it was just like probably the tightest version of In This Moment we've ever had, so it's been working out really, really good, and we love everybody we've got in the band right now. They kind of jumped in right before Blood came out, and it's been the most successful album of our career, and they helped us make it great every night live, so it's working out really good, and we're really happy with the new guys.
I'm really impressed with this band, and I really like your guys' music, Chris, and I have to say it's about time that you guys are getting due respect, because I think you guys are a headlining band, and you guys done a lot of festivals and things like that, but I think it's awesome to see you guys doing your own tour and headlining now, so that's awesome.
Thank you, man. It does feel good to us, too. We've kind of always been kind of stuck in that opening band spot our whole career, which we've had some great opportunities with some amazing tours and stuff, but headlining right now and seeing the people showing up and playing the bigger places, and it's like a crazy feeling, and we're really grateful.
I tell you what, Chris, you guys have a different stage look, more like a crazier stage look than what you guys did back in the day when with the Fear albums that came out before this one. Let's talk about that. You guys have props now on stage. What was the main twist with that, going this way?
Well, I think when we first started, once those guys quit on us, we had to kind of rally and decide what are we going to do, and we decided we weren't going to give up. We were going to keep trying, but we also made a kind of a pact with each other that we were going to step it up in every way. We were going to not only make a great album, but we were going to step up the live show, because we always kind of wanted to do stuff, but maybe we're afraid, what people might say or people might think. And this goes for Maria and the band as well. And, I grew up as a huge fan of Kiss and things like that, but we just never were really kind of ballsy enough to try it. And we just decided we're going to step it up. And so we just started kind of slowly putting on some makeup and trying to make our outfits, and Maria was stepping up her look. And throughout the album cycle, things just kept progressing and progressing and progressing. And every tour we do, we try to do something different and make it a little bit more theatrical or better. And it kind of built up to where it is now. And now it feels totally natural. And we do see that, people are liking the album, but they come to see us live and they see the band and the theatrics and the stage show and stuff, and they're getting hooked even more from that. So it's kind of gone hand in hand with helping make this whole thing successful for us. And it was just a thing where we were like, let's just not be afraid to do what we want to do anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's how it comes, you know.
Never be scared to step outside the box and try something new, I always say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, I kind of for a while, during the 90s, was really into like Pantera, and they're one of my favorite bands too. Now that whole vibe and that whole scene is just, you don't need to wear anything or do anything theatrical. You just, go up there and, play metal, but
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, Pantera is one of the best bands ever, and they could do that, but, we're not that type of band. We want to do something more. We want to be more like a Kiss or an Alice Cooper or a Rob Zombie type thing,
Right, exactly. Chris, what do you think that Maria's stage presence brings to in this moment?
I mean, it's huge. It's everything, man. She, I kind of look at it as our job to kind of hold her up, She's kind of the polished, shiny rock star, and we're the zombie, minions kind of guys,
Right.
And I think it works great. And it's since the beginning of the band, even when we weren't doing so much theatrics, people still always focused on Maria, her wearing the dress and her screaming and singing and all that stuff, and it's just kind of graduated more and more and more. And she's kind of becoming more and more comfortable being that front person and that, that rock star. And I think that she's made for it, and so we all support her, and we're super stoked to have her. That's every great band in history that you think of has that iconic rock star singer, and we got one too. That's how I look at it.
I want to say this, and there's a lot of female vocalists out there. I think she's the leader for it of the 2000s. I mean, honestly.
I love it, man. I was a fan of Lita Ford when I was growing up too, and I feel like Maria definitely, when we were starting out, we've been fighting to get into this scene and fighting to overcome all the people doubting us and, all this stuff. Since 2007, it's been a struggle. Radio doesn't want to play female artists, and, and we've kind of overcome a lot of stuff. So I feel super stoked that she's finally being respected and being acknowledged, and the band too. It's really awesome, man.
Well, you guys definitely have support here from BODS Mayhem Hour. I do play your all's music, and that's for sure. So,
thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, man.
Like I said, this show is support the locals and the nationals that don't get played a lot. So that's what I'm here for.
Cool, man. Fight the good fight.
Exactly. I mean, you guys bust your all's asses off just as anybody else does.
Yeah, we definitely didn't get handed anything, man. We've been working, making no money, coming out of pocket for everything, coming home broke, in debt, up until the Blood album cycle started. This is the turnaround for us, this album, in the last year and a half. Before that, all we've done is grind and work, and people think, just because you're on tour with Korn or you get to do Mayhem, that you're a rich rock star or something, and that just couldn't be further from the truth. These bands are all out there struggling to just break even is a success, because it's expensive to go on tour and to put on a professional show and do this. It's not cheap at all, and it's a business, and it's really hard to keep your head above water sometimes, and to be able to round that corner to where it becomes a profitable situation and we can actually pay ourselves some money when we go on tour and stuff. It's incredible. And we don't take it for granted.
Now, keeping in this moment here, how do you guys do your writing process for music, Chris? Is it just Maria writes her stuff and says, here, you guys write music with it? How do you all work that out?
Well, over the course of our career, we've had, it's kind of developed into what it is now. And now, we don't sit down as a group. We stopped doing that after the first album. It basically is, I'll sit with Maria and we'll come up with stuff together. She'll come up with stuff on her own. I'll come up with stuff on my own. And then we bring it together with Kevin, and we go through everything that we have, and we say, oh, we like this. We can do something with this. And then we'll start working on that and make a song out of it. Or Maria will have an idea, and we'll say, that's really cool. It might only be 2 lines of her humming something that doesn't even have words to it yet. But we can, that's really catchy. Let's make that into something. And then we'll make a song out of it. So we just kind of pick and choose, things that we like that we've kind of come up with, riffs, ideas. Sometimes it's, a verse, a pre-chorus and a chorus. Sometimes it's just one little part, but we'll build a song from the things that we like and make it into something. So it's a really, really cool process and really fun, I think. And, it used to be like you had to write the whole album before you even went in the studio and practice it and make sure you were doing it really good, And now we write the album, write the whole thing and make it, and then we have to learn that after we're done. We try to think, in some aspects, will this work live? But for the most part, we're not really concerned about that. We're concerned about making the album sonically the best it can be, and then we'll figure out how to make it work live afterwards.
Right. What songs from Blood do you like playing live?
I mean, they're all fun. I mean, I love Adrenalize, Blood, Whore, Burn, Beast. A all of those have become really, really fun to play, and the crowd really responds well to all those songs, which makes it fun. Seeing people react to the song when you're playing it is a huge reward.
The first time you ever heard the fans singing along to your guys' song, how did that feel to you?
I mean, it always feels great, and we've had that, throughout our career here and there, but it's never really been as big as it is with Blood, because with Blood, we got a new management company with us right before, because our manager dropped us too. The same time as our band members did, our longtime manager dropped us as well.
Wow. So
we were kind of managerless, but we got a new manager after we wrote the album that is like really connected in the radio world, and it was able to help us get some of these songs like Blood and Horror on the radio. So when there's a huge difference with people knowing the words to your song and knowing your songs after they hear it on the radio over and over and over. So on these tours we've been doing this year, it's crazy. People are singing the words louder than us. They know every word. They know the song, and it's such an incredible feeling to have people singing everything back at you. It's I can't even describe it, man. It's really awesome.
Chris, speaking of the digital age now, when we were talking about recording and how you guys do it, do you think the digital age has helped bands, or you think it's really hurt the industry?
Well, everyone's got their opinions on it, and I do understand that back in the 90s and the 80s, when there wasn't digital, people had to go, there wasn't the internet and stuff, you had to go out and buy an album, and it'd take, 500,000 people buying an album before they even knew it sucked, and now people will know it, they don't like an album, before it even comes out because of the internet.
Right.
But the thing is, I'm not one of those people that's going to go, it's terrible, the business is down, and da-da-da-da-da, because that's just a negative way to look at it. It is what it is. Digital is here. People are going to download stuff, and people are still going to buy stuff, and I look at our numbers, and it's right down the middle right now. Half the people that are buying our album are buying it in the store. The other half are downloading it. And you can't, you can complain about it all you want, but it's not going to change anything. So I look at it like, cool, people can download it onto their iPad or their phone and listen to our music, and they're still paying for it.
Yep.
The people that are pirating it, that's not so cool, and I don't really support that, but you still have to kind of hope that maybe they'll want to get that booklet, or they'll want to support the band, or they'll go buy a bunch of shirts at the show and come see you live and stuff. Yeah. It is what it is the best way to say it. You can't fight it.
Do you guys prefer clubs or festival, or does it really even matter to you all at this point?
Well, with our show that we're bringing, clubs, like small clubs, aren't really working as much anymore because we can't really fit what we're doing up on that stage. So it's got to be a certain size venue to work with us. Festivals are such a blast. It's such a fun thing to go out with a bunch of cool bands and travel the country, and it's like summer camp,
Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to the next one of those we get to do.
So what can fans expect from at an In This Moment concert from you guys?
They can expect something they've never seen before. If they've seen us before and they see us on this tour right now, Hell Pop, they're going to see something they've never seen before. We've definitely stepped up every aspect of the show, and we're really proud of that. Throughout the year, people that have seen us, they've seen something different each time, and this is no different. And it's a lot of theatrics, a lot of Maria's got like dancers up there, and there's costume changes and stuff. It's a show. This
Hell Pop tour, you guys got some awesome bands on here, and I just interviewed Eddie from King last week, and really awesome interview with that guy. Really cool band too. You got Motionless in White, All Hail the Yeti, and plus you guys too. What does these other bands that you like about on tour with you guys?
Well, when we were trying to come up with the lineup for this tour, both legs, we wanted it to be diverse. We didn't want to have like all the same style of stuff.
Right.
We didn't want to have a bunch of female-fronted bands that do radio songs. We wanted to have like a variety, and our fans are really great fans. They like music, and they like good shows, and they're open to new things, so we wanted to give them something different. And that's why we brought All Hail the Yeti and King and Motionless, because they all kind of bring something unique but powerful to the lineup, And same thing with the second leg. We got the Butcher Babies, Devour the Day, and All Hail the Yeti again. And it's just a really cool, diverse lineup.
Speaking of the Butcher Babies, they have worked their asses off as well to get to where they are, and I think they're a really great band too. Yeah, man, they're our friends. We've known them. I've known Carla even before In This Moment was signed. I knew her, and it's really cool to see them grow. It kind of makes me think about when we first started. I'm looking at their first, album and their cycle and what they've kind of been doing and how they're kind of growing and stuff. And it reminds me of when we first started, and it's really cool. And that's why we brought them out on this tour, because we respect them for what they're doing, and we know our fans will like it.
it's something different and cool for people to see, and it makes it interesting, man. You know, and that's why we're bringing them.
How would you all want the fans to remember you guys when they leave that show?
We want them to just to remember it, man. We want them to be like, I just saw something there that I haven't seen, and I want to see it again. You know, that's what we want. It's like a TV show or a song. You know, when you watch it once for a movie, you know, you want to. The most successful movies and songs are the ones, and videos and everything are the ones that people want to go back over and over and over and over and over again and listen to. Right. And you know, that's the same thing for a timeless song. You know, the ones that you still hear on the radio today, from you know the '70s, are the best songs. We'll listen over and over.
Man, have you guys had any fans come up to say, hey, we love your music, and you know the music has helped me out through tough times? What does that mean to you as a musician and them liking your music?
It means everything to us, and we've been doing this for about 8 years now, and we've had things like that happening throughout our career, but we've kind of been noticing more recently in the last year and a half since Blood has become successful and kind of changed everything for us, that it's becoming more and more often that it happens, and pretty much every night we've had some kind of huge moment with fans. You know, somebody will come up to Maria and say, you know, you helped me through this, and they're crying, or, you know, I'm a cancer survivor and your music helps me through. And we always said, you know, when we were doing this, praying to God, you know, or the higher power to give us the strength to keep doing this, and that if we ever became successful, we wouldn't turn our back on people like that, and we would always give back and always try to help anyone that we could and do right and do the good thing we could do, you know. And so we take it really seriously, and you know, we always talk about what's the Spider-Man thing: with great power comes great responsibility. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, you know, we it's true, you know. And so we're trying to when somebody comes up to us with some kind of story like that, we listen to them, and we'll set them off to the side, and after the meet and greet's over, we'll go over and talk to them for a few minutes and try to help them out, you know, or listen to what they're saying and acknowledge it. It's really important, I think. So we take it very seriously. What do you think that In This Moment brings to music? I like to think that we bring something different, you know. There's so many bands out there, and there's so many different things going on, and when you listen to the radio, sometimes you can't tell one band from the next. I feel like we have an original sound. Maria has a unique voice, and we're trying to do our own thing and do something that's different than everybody else. And that's really something we really want to achieve, you know, and do. We're always thinking about that, you know, being unique and original and creating some art that's our own. And I feel like we're doing it, and, you know, some people don't, you know, that don't want to give us a chance. They just haven't listened yet or whatever, and that's fine. It's not going to change it, but we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Chris, I know Blood's been out for a while, but are you guys writing any new stuff right now for the new album, possibly? Anything new? Yeah, we are working on stuff right now. You know, Maria's putting down ideas on her phone and stuff, and we're not really writing in earnest yet, but ideas are happening. We already know, you know, at the end of the second leg in January, we're doing Shiprocked. Shiprocked will be the last shows for the Blood album cycle, and then we're going into the studio in March, and we'll have a new song ready in June, and the album will be out summer or early fall of next year. So it's happening. It's already in process. We have the studio time booked and everything. So you guys got Hell Pop right now, and then you go straight to Shiprocked. That's pretty good. You guys are staying really busy right now, so congratulations on that. Chris, how can people get a hold of you all if they want to say we like your music, buy your merch? How can they help you guys out? They can go to inthismoment.com, or they can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/inthismoment. That's a great place to interact with us and stuff. You know, we're very active on there, and just anywhere on the web, man. If you type it In This Moment in Google, you know, and follow some links, you can get a hold of us. I want to thank you for taking time out for doing this interview. You guys have a huge supporter in BODS Mayhem Hour and myself. So anything you guys ever need, just, hey, don't hesitate to holler at me, because I'll do it for you guys. Thank you, brother. We appreciate the support, man. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate it, man. No problem. It's really awesome. No problem. Chris, before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for my show? Not at all. Hey, this is Chris from In This Moment, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Awesome. Thank you, Chris, so much, man. All right, brother. Take care, man. You too. You guys stay safe. Tell Maria and everybody I said hello. I will, buddy. Thanks for the support. You too. Bye. Guys, stick around. We got some In This Moment music coming up for you guys, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, guys.